Hi everyone! So I am here to do my 37-week pregnancy update, and I'm actually almost 38 weeks. I will be 38 weeks on Monday, which is the day after tomorrow. So I'm a little bit late with this, but I'm still getting it in there. So I'm 37 weeks and 5 days today, and this week the baby is like 19 to 20 inches and 6 to 7 pounds, somewhere in there. Like basically at this point, close to what it's going to be when it's born. So that's pretty crazy, and I think like the estimates of size don't really change a whole lot for the next couple of weeks. Like they're all kind of that range of what birth size generally is. So yeah, so this week, this past week, on Wednesday I had my regular prenatal appointment and got the Group B strep test done. I haven't gotten the results back yet for that, but I should have that back in the next couple of days. So hopefully it's going to be negative and we don't have to deal with any of that stuff, but we'll see. And otherwise had a pretty just normal appointment, pretty quick in and out. And the midwife, who's the one that I've basically been seeing for the majority of this pregnancy, I've been seeing the same one, but like she basically came in and she's like, so like your term, and like talking as though it could be any day now, and she was like at the end of the appointment kind of was half joking, saying that like she was working yesterday, so like, you know, if things happened then she would be on. But I don't think that labor is going to be happening very soon, and I also am not quite ready to be at that point yet. So I know that it could happen at any time, and I am somewhat prepared for that. I have my hospital bag pretty much packed. I have the baby's bag basically packed. I have made some freezer meals, and so I feel like pretty accomplished getting that done. I think I have 6 meals in the freezer, so that's really good. And each time I'm like doing grocery shopping now, I'm kind of thinking it in terms of, okay, so like what kind of food should we have in the house, and like are there things that I should get to stick in the freezer and stuff like that. So so it's definitely on my mind that like we're that close. I have not yet installed the car seat, but I'm gonna do that probably sometime in the next week, because I don't really want to be doing that while I'm in labor. And yeah, just kind of getting prepared. And I go back for my next prenatal appointment in 2 weeks, so I will be 39 weeks. And obviously, like, unless something happens between now and then. I have also finally, I've put it off forever, but I finally scheduled a hospital tour. So we're going a week from today. Today's Saturday, so next Saturday, my husband and I will be going to do the tour of the hospital, which apparently sounds like it's like a pretty in-depth thing. It's like an hour-and-a-half long. So I don't know what all it entails, but it's definitely more than what I was expecting. And so that, but it'll be, you know, I'm happy to get all the information that I can. This is a different hospital than where I delivered my first, so I'm interested to kind of hear how things go there, and what their normal procedures are and stuff like that, some of which I already know from talking with the midwives, but it's always good to get it from like the nurses and right from the people who are there every day. So that will be good. And then in addition to that hospital tour, I also signed my son up for a sibling class that's happening tomorrow afternoon. So hopefully, we've been getting a ton of snow lately. I live in the Northeast, and we've been getting hit with quite a bit of snow. So hopefully that won't interfere with the class. The latest weather report looks like it shouldn't, like it should be okay, but we'll see. So I'm excited to get to take him to that class, and he gets to bring like a stuffed animal with him, and I think they'll be doing, you know, stuff with the stuffed animal as though it's a baby and stuff like that. And he'll also get a special tour of the labor and delivery area. So we'll at least get to see it then, but it won't be the same kind of in-depth tour that we'll be getting next weekend. So, so I'm really glad that like I'm finally getting around to doing that kind of stuff that I've just been putting off forever. And I also on Wednesday had an appointment with my naturopathic primary care doctor to just kind of talk about some things, and she's super excited for this baby to arrive and everything. And we are trying to address some of my kind of energy related issues and like feeling sick in the mornings and stuff like that. So we're trying to address that by doing some support of my adrenal glands and stuff, which is not specifically pregnancy related, but we're hoping to kind of get that in a better place before, or at least by the time baby comes, so that we're not trying to kind of get on top of that and dealing with a newborn. So that's all good. It was really nice to see her too, because I hadn't seen her in a while. And I have also been continuing my acupuncture. So I've had like quite a few appointments this past week. I had an acupuncture appointment last Saturday, which was my like normal private session with the acupuncturist that I've been going to throughout this whole fertility journey and pregnancy and everything. And had kind of an interesting appointment there. I ended up throwing up partway through the session. So like we talked, and I had been feeling kind of sick in the morning, but I thought I was okay. I made the mistake of making myself a smoothie for breakfast, which I've learned I just can't these days handle that much liquid first thing in the morning. So we talked, and she, you know, got me all set up with needles and everything, and then I started feeling sick and started feeling sicker and had to eventually like call out for someone to come in. And so my acupuncturist came rushing in and got me a trash bag, and I started throwing up, and she pulled all the needles out, and it was an interesting session and kind of a little bit of an ordeal, but hopefully it was just some kind of a fluke. It could have partly been related to the treatment kind of stirring things up, she said. So I don't really know, but yeah, that was an interesting morning. And then I had another session yesterday, just not a private session, but a community session. I've talked about the community room before, I think, and that was totally fine. So my ankle is healing. It is still stiff and still somewhat swollen, but it is definitely improving. The pain is pretty minimal at this point. However, I am now having some back pain. My lower back on the left side has been having some issues, and I don't know if I just slept on it funny a few nights ago, or if I tweaked something, or if the baby's lying in a weird position, or I don't really know. But it's definitely been painful, and it's not the easiest to walk around because that's kind of what hurts more. So I've been using a heat pad on it and kind of trying to stretch a little bit and, you know, move around gently to try to get that loosened up a little bit. Hopefully that will start feeling better soon. The heat is definitely helping. So that is kind of, there's been a lot of appointments and stuff over the last week, but all has been pretty good, and symptom-wise, really nothing different. I'm definitely feeling like I'm getting slightly swollen, but it's really minimal, and it's really only in my face. Like my feet are totally fine, except for obviously my hurt ankle. My fingers might be swelling like a tiny bit, and there's been a little bit of like joint discomfort with that, but really super minimal. So that's good. And nothing really coming up appointment wise for the next week. My next prenatal appointment is in almost 2 weeks, and we do have the sibling class tomorrow, so I'm hoping to get some pictures, and I'll put those into my next video. And I am also planning on recording my hospital bag videos, and I have a couple of other things in mind of potential other videos. We'll see what I manage to get to in the next week. It's getting a little bit tough to actually get everything done that I've wanted to get done, because we're getting down to the end. So that is it for my update today. I will put my weekly belly shot at the end here so you can see how things are. I feel like it doesn't quite do it justice how big it seems in person, but and this baby is moving around so much lately, it's crazy. And baby is definitely head down, but is lying, or at least in my appointment on Wednesday, and I think for the most part is lying on the right side of my belly, which is really not what you want. That's more of a posterior position during labor. So I'm trying to get around to doing some exercises and stuff from spinning babies to get the baby to move to the left side. Definitely not engaged yet, but hoping that that will happen. It never happened with Lex until I was in labor and like on Pitocin. So I'm hoping that this time it actually happens a little bit ahead of time. Oh, I've also started evening primrose oil. I started that after my appointments on Wednesday. So I'm taking 1,000 milligrams orally, and then I'm doing 500 milligrams as a vaginal suppository. So hoping that that kind of helps prep my body and everything. And I'm continuing to do red raspberry leaf tea, and I'm also trying to eat dates every day, which all of those things have the potential of helping labor to be a little bit smoother and kind of prep your body. So we'll see if any of it helps. I really didn't do any of that consistently the first time, and my labor was not the easiest, so I'm hoping that something will make it easier this time. So that is it for this week's update. I will see you again soon for my hospital bag videos and for my update on the pregnancy next week. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.